Where am I? Why can't I see anything? My head hurts.
Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty.
I jerk upright at the familiar voice. You're the man who knocked me out. I blink as I try to pinpoint the direction of his voice. Did he blindfold me? I command you to take off this blindfold.
I don't take orders from princesses that no one remembers. But I am a gentleman, so I suppose I shall have to heed a lady's request.
The blindfold is abruptly pulled off and I flinch at the sudden brightness. Hello.
Why, hello there, princess.
My captor looks at me, amused. He wears a crooked grin on his masked face and a cape on his shoulders. Who is he? My eyes wander to the throne and I cannot help but gasp at what I see. The king is strapped to the throne, hands bound, mouth covered. Your Majesty! The king pauses to look at me, his eyes containing a mixture of alarm and confusion. I turn to glare at the masked man. Let him go!
No can do, princess. Though, don't you think he still looks regal sitting on his throne like that?
I grit my teeth as I begin to struggle against my bonds.
Struggle all you like. You won't get out of those knots anytime soon.
Who are you? The masked man drops into an elegant curtsy, bow.
I am called Varg.
Varg? What have you done to my father?
Me? Nothing. Well, nothing much. I guess gagging a person and tying their hands behind their back counts as something.
Are you working for Sir Alcaster?
I don't work for anyone.
So he's a mercenary? The door flies open and Alcaster steps in, his face full of anger.
Mithros the fool! How absolutely useless he was!
Varg gives a dismissive shrug. He regards me again with his mischievous smile.
While I do agree with that wholeheartedly, that man is in the past. Here, in the present, we have someone far more interesting to deal with.
Varg gestures at me. I glare at Varg before returning my gaze to Alcaster. I used to think Alcaster was someone to be respected. Not anymore.
If it isn't the princess herself.
You remember who I am?
Once Mithros made the connection, it was just too obvious to be false.
Could Sir Mithros remember me? Alcaster shifts his attention to the king.
Gennaro, do you not remember this girl as your own blood daughter?
My eyes meet the king's, but I see no recognition in his gaze. He cannot remember me. I haven't managed to break my curse yet. Why are you doing this to my father? To the kingdom?
Everything I do for the kingdom. All successful rulers have run with an iron fist. Fear is the best motivation. A king that is too lenient and does not inspire fear has no business being on the throne.
But the people of Angielle love their king. Before I had thought that the town people were despicable because they hated me. Now I understand those reasons. They may have judged me as mother's daughter, which is wrong, but that does not mean they should be subject to a regime of fear.
Your obligation as a ruler is to rule for the country, not the people. Back when the queen was still alive and this place knew the fear of the witches, they were far more productive. Fear motivates. Fear makes a man...
King Alcaster!
You better have a good excuse for interrupting my monologue.
Your Highness, there's a beast. A beast?
What are you blathering about, you fool?
A beast. A magical beast is rampaging around the palace.
Is this the dead witch's doing?
Dead witch? No, Dolores is fine. She has to be.
Out with it! Did Mithros do this?
What? I cannot stop myself from blurting out the question. Sir Mithros is a witch? Sir Mithros is dead? Whoa, wait, Mithros is dead again?
He was a witch, but now he is dead.
He turns to his knight and demands more information. I am too shocked to hear their words. Sir Mithros? A witch? Impossible.
What of the other palace intruders?
We've managed to apprehend some of them, but we can't get to everyone with that beast taking us out.
That damned Mithros? Still a pain even after death.
What did you do to Sir Mithros?
Did you not hear me, girl? He is dead, killed by my hand.
But why?
He was helpful at first. We worked together to achieve our own personal goals.
He eyes me cautiously.
He wanted you, Princess.
If Sir Mithros was a witch, that would explain why he still remembered me. Why did he want me?
Who knows? It doesn't matter anymore. I gave him my knights to assist him in his search when the witches could not, but in the end that fool was too power-hungry. You never entered into my plans. You would have been safe, Princess, had you just stayed put. But now that you're here, you'll come in handy.
Alcaster turns back to the knight, who immediately bursts into explanation once more. The beast is moving quickly. We don't know how much longer we can keep it from this room. There's a beast in the palace, and it's Sir Mithras' doing? I am so confused. Probably because it's not Sir Mithras' doing. It's our boo. As a beast, does that mean it's too late to reverse his curse? And what about the others? Are they okay? Let me go, Alcaster.
You are not going anywhere. It sounds like some of your friends are very persistent. They'll be coming for you, and when they get here, I will kill them. You, Princess, are going to make excellent bait. You know, I like this turn of events. Kind of amusing. You, tell me what all of this is.
Varg looks unmoved by Alcaster's anger.
It is Mithras that summoned this beast, is it not? Then you must know what is happening. You're asking me, of all people? Ha! As if I would be able to answer any of your questions. You... Varg! It doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Alcaster. I won't have any answers for you.
That is terrifying. Sir Alcaster turns to me, his eyes manic.
Whether this is Mithras' magic, or magic belonging to one of your friends, I'm not going to let it live.
Could Delora create a beast out of thin air? Sir Alcaster draws his sword from his sheath and curses under his breath. I squirm, desperate to find some kind of break in my restraints. Varg surprises me, however, by reaching down and cutting the ropes binding my arms with a sword that I recognize. You have my sword. I stand up as quickly as I can and grab the sword from him. That was too easy. What's your game, Varg? I don't know what game you're playing at. I eye Varg warily as his mouth twists into a smirk. What are you doing? Why are you helping me?
Help. All I did was cut some ropes. Besides, I'm curious to see what you'll do with that toothpick of a sword.
He talks like he doesn't care at all what happens.
Don't think about it too much, Princess. It's probably a little too much for your small head.
I swing my sword toward him and Varg catches it with his cane.
You really think that I'm the one you should be fighting?
The door creaks and falls off of its hinges. The knights stumble back, and I hear screaming as loud footsteps sound against the hall's tiles.
So what will you do? Run? Hide? Or will the beast kill you too?
Ah! Karma! My eyes focus on the large figure entering the room. Though I cannot make out specifics at first, the form grows more distinct the further it moves into the room. Whatever this is, I cannot fight it. There is a moment of eerie silence, and then Alcaster yells and the knights rush forward, attacking the beast as a collective. The beast throws them off with surprising nimbleness, his rage in every swipe. I dodge away just before a man's body falls on top of me.
Over here, beast!
Sir Alcaster rushes at the beast. I finally manage to get a clear line of sight to the king, who is still bound and helpless on the throne. The king. I have to get him out of here. I run toward the throne, but someone stops me dead in my tracks.
Saving the king really shouldn't be your priority right now.
You are so infuriating. I grit my teeth and swing my sword at Varg, but he easily darts away from me.
I would be watching my back.
It is then that I notice the beast slowly making its way toward me. Why would it be after me? Either I stay here and fend it off, or... Alcaster catches the beast with a broad swipe of his sword, and the two are focused once more on each other. I glance urgently at the king, then at the doors. The beast moves again, and I realize that it is once more heading toward me. There is no way I can help the king in all of this mess. I need help. I have to find the others. Hopefully Alcaster will keep this beast busy long enough for me to get them. I turn and bolt through the room, weaving my way through the chaos of knights as I head toward the door. I glance over my shoulder one last time at the king. His eyes are trained on the battle before him. His hands grip the arms of his throne, but there's nothing he can do. I'm so sorry. I'll be back. But for now, I have to find the others. I dart past the carnage in the room, stepping over and around bodies as they appear. Halfway to the door, the beast lunges past Sir Alcaster, and for a few moments I think he might be attacking me. Stay back! I hold my sword out in front of me and stand in a defensive position like Claude taught me, but the beast never reaches me.
You've ruined everything, beast!
Alcaster is suddenly in front of me, waving his sword at the beast. I stumble back toward the doors, my heart beating loudly in my chest. I have to get out of here. Beauty and the Beast. Do I have to tell him I love him in his beastly form? Is Alcaster going to stab him? How closely are we going to resemble Beauty and the Beast this time? Where did the beast come from? Knights immediately rush toward me. I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, come quietly and we'll keep you somewhere safe until this all dies down. I cannot take them all on at once. Even knowing that I still pull out my sword. I take a few steps back and then suddenly feel my back pressed up against something. The beast stands behind me, its back to me. I stand in its shadow and I realize that if it turned around, it could swap me to the walls just like the rest of its victims. You guys are fighting together, though. But it's just standing there. Yes.
Together.
Together? The beast says nothing more. Though I still feel on edge, there is something oddly familiar about this. Claude told me once it was better to fight back to back. I will trust you for now, whatever you are. I do not know if it understands me, but I can hope. It seems more like a human than any kind of animal. Princess, get away from the beast. It will... The knight never finishes his sentence, as the beast sends him flying through the air. Why is it helping me? Come on, Lucette, be smart. The knights fall like dominoes to the beast, but manage to remain standing when I strike them with my sword. Even just taking one down is so hard. These men have been trained for years, while I haven't even had the luxury of a year. Out of the corner of my eye, I sense movement. I see a gleam of silver and hear a grunt as the sword is raised into the air. The sword is nowhere near reaching me, but... the beast! I aim a kick at an approaching knight before whirling around to look at the beast. The oncoming sword comes closer to the beast's exposed back, and I know the beast will not be able to dodge in time. Move! I shove past the creature and catch the knight's sword with my own before it can harm the beast. My arms are shaking underneath the strength of the impact between our swords. I feel like my arms are going to give out. Then a flash of light appears, so bright that everyone is temporarily blinded. Is it my third good deed? Is it Waltz? Or is it karma transforming back into a human? That was bright. I stumbled back, rubbing at my eyes. From the sounds of it, the beast is continuing to drive back the knights, most of them shouting to each other to retreat. What was that? When I am finally able to see again, my eyes automatically land on my feet, which have slippers. I stare in shock. Woo! Curse is broken. Glass slippers? I quickly reach up to my pendant and realize that it is no longer there. I completed my 3 good deeds?
Lucette.
It knows my name? I look around and realize that the beast and I are alone, the knights having fled. Did the beast drive off the rest of them? I feel the pressure at my back and realize that the beast is touching me. My first instinct is to run, but the words it utters next paralyze me.
You... okay?
Every word sounds breathless and pained, like it takes too much to speak. It is worried about me? I watch in shock as the beast appears to gesture toward my shoes.
You... did it.
I step back warily. What are you? The beast reaches out and I see something glittering in the palm of its hand. That's the only thing that didn't change. The rose locket. For a few moments, my heart plummets into my stomach and my hands begin to quiver. He didn't eat him. What did you do to Claude? The beast's shadowed fingers curl over the locket even as he stares at me.
Gave me.
I gave that locket to Claude. The beast only stares at me for a few moments longer, and then suddenly I realize that his words, nothing more than a pained growl, do not hold any malice. I gave that locket to... you? The beast slowly nods. My grasp on my sword loosens as I stare at him in shock, realization dawning upon me. Claude?
Yes.
So this is your secret? Why would you not tell me? I could have hurt you. Claude has another form, a cursed form, and he never told me. Why? As my mind whirls, I feel everything coming together like the pieces of a puzzle.
Secrets are secrets for a reason, Princess. You should know that. If I could speak on them, I would. But I can't.
Lucette, I wish I could explain. You would hate me. Or more accurately, you would be afraid of me. All of those times Claude was clutching at his chest. You were touching your tattoo so many times before, like you were in pain. The beast growls, and the sound is surprisingly soft, almost a sigh. I hope you killed Alcaster, because if he comes through with a sword right through your heart right now, I'm going to stab him.
Curse.
Then the tattoo was...
a warning.
The first time I saw that tattoo, it was a beautiful rose. The second time, it had more thorns. When the throws became ensnared in thorns, did he transform? And he always touched his tattoo when he came too close to me. Claude, your curse did not just make others fall in love with you. It stopped you from loving anyone too, didn't it? He mentioned that woman before, the one who he thought loved him but didn't. Is it possible that she saw him in this form and was terrified of him? If you loved anyone, you would turn into a beast. So I did cause this, but what an insidious curse! He would never know if someone truly loved him. And if he ever, this playboy, ever truly loved someone, he would turn into this hideous creature that would scare any woman away. Sheesh. I did not see that coming. That was very well done. You loved a woman once, but she only loved you because of your curse. The minute you transformed, she was scared of you, wasn't she?
Yes.
He sounds so pained. The reason Claude has been trying to hide everything from me is because he is scared that I would have feared him. That is why beauty has always been so important to him. But the curse cast upon him makes him both beautiful and a beast. Sheesh. He's like both sides of the curse.
I wanted you to love me, but no one could love a beast.
His words are dwindling. It almost sounds like he's being suffocated on the inside with how slowly he's speaking. For who could ever truly learn to love a beast? Do you realize what this means, though, girl? He loves you so much. Claude, I have never cared much about appearances. People have worn masks on their face their whole life around me. Claude, I face him. This face! Look at that! I will love you no matter what form you take. Ooh, that terrified me. I'm like, what? I drop my sword to the ground and make my way over to him. I rest my cheek on his chest and wrap my arms around him. I love you. Woo! The room is filled with a bright but gentle light. It almost feels like I am bathing in sunlight. For a few moments, I forget my worries. Everything feels blissful and quiet, and my heart feels full. Then moments later, I feel warm arms around my waist. Ooh, it's so bright.
I love you too, Lucette.
Ah. Yay, you're not your dress anymore. When I open my eyes, I still can't see anything, even though I know that the light has faded. That warmth is still there too, but now I feel it immediately on my skin, and I realize that it is because Claude is hugging me. Not as a beast, but as a man. Did I break his curse? I realize this is the first time Claude has ever touched me for a long period of time without abruptly moving away. Tentatively, I move my hands, feeling the fabric of his shirt and the warmth of him underneath it. Claude. But before I can finish my sentence, my lips are sealed. I feel Claude's lips on mine, only briefly, but it is enough to make me suddenly feel faint. Do I get a picture for this? No! He pulls away from me with a brilliant smile.
I've always wanted to do that. Lucette, you're blushing. If I could, I would kiss you again, but we have some urgent things to attend to.
The reality of the situation begins to seep back into me. Right, quite. My father, Varg, Alcaster, they are all still in the throne room. The king!
Let's go, Lucette.